Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity lacrosse is live and on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at Hollway Field, where it is your Pioneer Varsity men's lacrosse team taking on the Northville Mustangs. As we just got a notice that on the baseball field, baseball has beaten Milan 1-0. So good job by the baseball to open up. Thank you so much for Jeff Cass for doing play-by-play so we could be over here and getting set up and going for the lacrosse team. Pioneer is 1-0 on the season. They won and beat Grosse Pointe South 10-9. That was back on the 23rd. Starters, taking a look out here for Pioneer is Whit Dunson, Bennett Ayers, Max Friedman, Levy Rosenberg, Hayden Beer, Sam Cow, August Gago, Philip Schaefer, Adam Porter, and Angus McQueen is the starters for Pioneer, and we'll see exactly who Northville brings out. Taking a look, Northville has played one game as well, as that was a 12-6 loss versus Hazlitt back on the 22nd of March. So they're coming in 0-1, looking for a first win of the season. Pioneer is 1-0. They had a game scheduled with Canton on the 24th, but that one got canceled. So, the beginnings of spring is always a little bit of a mixed bag as far as the weather goes. So we are very, very grateful to be able to come in and get this game in here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as it looks like the rain should stay away. It's lacrosse. They play in all kinds of weather. So so long as there are no lightning strikes, we should be able to get this game in. It is a windy up here in the press box, but down at the field level, it's not too bad. Game time temperature is 58 degrees down on the field, although, like I said, with the wind whistling through the press box, feels a little bit colder up here, but that is all right. We're just excited to be here. We do want to thank all the wonderful sponsors of the 2023 Pioneer Men's Lacrosse sponsors. That includes Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Franklin Templeton, Knights Southside Market, Gago Fertility, Dr. April Gago, Jen Greer Photography, First Martin Corporation, that's Mike Martin, who is a alum of the team, Venue Restaurant and Bar, Pollock Investment Advisors. Rob Pollock is a Pioneer alum as well. Witzler Gear, Great Shaper Dentistry, Electric Lawn Company. And we'll go over a number of different sponsors in each of the different periods. And please help support those who support the team. Ever since 2020, it's been a little bit harder to do some fundraising. So we're very, very grateful to all those folks in the local community who help support this team. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we will get back going coming up in just a moment, as about 3 minutes till we have the start of the game. So we'll flip over once they have the national anthem.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As the teams are getting lined up over across the way, Pioneer lined up on their sideline. Northville getting lined up as we're about to, I believe we're about to have the national anthem. And now we'll pull this up. Sorry, getting the it's hard when you take off the headphones and have a knit cap. As like I said, the wind chill, the higher up you go in the spring gets a little worse. But folks, we do have a number of folks coming in right now, and we have some Pioneer folks down below. So some folks braving the spring weather. Officials right at the center as we are getting ready to go. 12 minutes up on the clock for the first. As Northville is in their dark black jerseys, they have the orange numbering on the front and on the back. And they have Mustangs across the bottom of the back of the jerseys with black helmets. Pioneer is in their white jerseys with the silver numbers. Pioneer on block lighting across the front, the black helmets with the block A's. Out there, bowling game for Northville as Thackeray out there as well. Ranka, Betchart, Wessner, Jafar, Jaime, Alexander, Dietrich, as well as Pearson, all starting and going down to the left. Bowling game is going to be the keeper for Northville. Over to our right, it is Denson for Pioneer. In to take the draw, Ayers in there for Pioneer. On the far wing is Rosenberg as well as Jaime. On the near wing is Porter, joined over on this near wing by Wissner. And then in to take the draw. Looks like that's 12 for Northville, so that would be Jafar. in to take the face-off. Both in position for the face-off at the blockades. There's the whistle, and that pulled down. Jafar able to rake that up and come over on the near side. Outside over center, midfield. Jafar flips it ahead. Coming down on the near wing. Over on the near side is Jaime. Jaime into the attack zone. Now steps back right along the restraining line. Racing in, coming down is Hinshaw. Hinshaw flips it all the way back behind the goal line extended over to Dietrich. Dietrich over on the far side. And gets that over to Alexander. All the way top of the attack zone. Now flipped just out for Hinshaw. Hinshaw racing down between the hash marks. Fires it right back behind. That over to Dietrich. Dietrich over on the far wing. Now sends it between the hash marks. That flipped over on the near wing. Over to Jaime. That shot goes out. As closest to it was the Mustangs, so they will keep possession. As Dietrich trying to work his way around the cage to the left-hand side, trying to get over the goal line extended. As that was grabbed, snagged out midair by Denson. Denson has it back behind the goal. Moves it over on the near wing. Here comes Schaefer. Schaefer fires it all the way down on a hop, trying to get that over loose ball in the offensive zone for Pioneer. That pulled back around by Ronka. Ronka coming down on the far numbers. Over center. Here comes Northville into the attack zone. Coming down as collision there, whistle, and a flag. As that is going to put, as now Northville has a man up possession as Rosenberg goes and takes a knee over on the far sideline. So they'll start off on the far wing. That flip top of the attack zone now moved over between the hash marks is Hinshaw. Hinshaw gets it over on the near wing, over to Pearson. Pearson back to Hinshaw. Now over on the far wing. Hinshaw gets it back between the hash marks right at the top of the attack zone as they're moving it back on the left-hand side now, trying to come down over there to Alexander. Flip back to Hinshaw. Now there's a shot coming in, popped up high in the air, ground ball, and pulling it away is Gago. Gago gets it over to Denson. Denson just outside of his crease, flips it all the way down. That bounces, trying to rake it up. Grabbing it is Cal. Cal right at center, just over center. Cal coming down outside of the near hash marks. Cal into the attack zone. Cal comes on the near wing, racing down towards the goal line extended. Cal comes underneath the goal line extended on the near wing, being watched over there by Jaime. Cal directly back behind the goal. Now comes, spins back to the near side, gets over the goal line extended. As Cal trying to come in, trying to split a pair of defenders. That knocked down and coming up and shot and a goal as Cal fires it in. So Pioneer goal. That at the 9:35 mark, and Pioneer takes the early lead 1-0. As it was a fantastic individual effort for Cal to try and split a pair of defenders and get right in front of the crease and fire that in. Wellman in to take the face-off. Again, on that other side is Jafar. Popped up, Jafar wins the face-off. Just over midfield, Jafar between the hash marks. Now coming down outside the hash marks into the attack zone, just over the restraining line. That flipped back over to Pearson. Pearson comes top of the attack zone, now steps back into the midfield area. Pearson just on the near sideline. Flips that back over to Alexander. Alexander moves it over onto the far wing. As substitutions coming in on the offensive side for Northville. Mustangs have it just outside the attack zone, coming ahead with it. Jaime races down on the near hash marks, flips it back behind to Dietrich. Dietrich trying to come over on the hash marks on the near side underneath the goal line extended. 8:52 left to go here in the first. That fired right out. Shot goes just wide. Closest to it, run out by Northville, so that will stay Mustang ball. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead at 8:47 as Dietrich has it. Just on the end line, comes right back behind the goal. Dietrich stops there. Gago watching him. As Dietrich trying to get a screen, comes to the near side, gets over the goal line extended. As that is a goal by Dietrich, firing it in. As that is now 1-1. Northville answers back. And we are all knotted up at one apiece. Ayers in to take the face-off. And Jafar on the other side. He's won each of the face-off he's taken. On the near wing is Whistler as well as Porter. Trying to rake it up, battle for it. Ayers scoops it back towards the Northville side. Still loose ball and a whistle. And it is going to be Northville ball. Mustangs have it. Now coming over onto the near wing, Jafar. Gets outside of the near hash marks, racing towards center. Gets over midfield, Jafar. Trying to work against Ayers. Now coming in, the ball down on the ground, raked up by Gago. Gago gets it back over to Denson. Denson. Just outside of his crease, comes ahead. That fired. As here comes Ayers over midfield. Ayers coming down the far hash marks. Ayers gets outside the numbers into the attack zone. Ayers coming down the far wing. Now comes back top of the attack zone. Gets it over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg. He's about 7 yards inside of over midfield between the hash marks. Waiting for substitutions to come in for Pioneer. As racing in is Latesh. There's a shot out in front, stopped. As able to grab that is Burlingame. Fired ahead. All the way down into the attack zone. That grabbed away, pulled ahead, loose ground ball in the midfield area, raked up by Gago. Gago flips it back over to Denson. Denson just on the near side of his own crease. 1-1 is the score. 7:20 left to go here in the first. Denson fires it all the way down, just about to the attack zone. That flipped up there as coming over Wolf. Moves it over on the far wing. Now coming down with it is Dutton. Dutton gets between the hash marks. Dutton with a shot and a score. Dutton puts it in for Pioneer. Pioneer goes back up 2-1. Pioneer takes the lead again, 2-1. Northville was able to answer back. See if Pioneer can build a run of scores, or if Northville can get it back tied up. Wellman in to take the draw, or take the face-off versus Jafar. It's the problem with doing both boys and girls lacrosse is face-off versus draw. And ball loose, trying to rake it up. That grab knocked away. As Wellman trying to pick it up, there's a whistle. And that is going to be Northville ball, as Northville has it on the near hash marks. Flipped ahead. Working with it is Pearson. Pearson sends it down on the near wing into the attack zone. That brought back by Dietrich. Back into the midfield area to Jaime. Jaime all the way over on the far wing. Bringing that in is Pearson. That knocked down as the shot out in front rolls over onto the near wing. Sorry, that was Dulac. Coming the other direction as Shikachi gets it ahead, trying to fire that over to Cow, and just out of his reach. And it'll go out of bounds on the near wing, as bringing that up will be Ranka. 2-1. Pioneer has the lead. 6:27 left to go here in the first. Mustangs have it, coming ahead. Racing towards midfield. Now coming ahead with that is Jaime. Jaime fires it down on the far wing. Spinning, trying to get in between the hash marks. There's a shot by Hinshaw. Goes out. Closest to it is Northville. So Dietrich will start things off again just along the end line. Northville with possession. Comes over outside the far hash mark. And underneath the goal line extended. Quick substitution as Dutton comes off for Pioneer. Which leads to Yang coming in. Now Northville fires it on the far wing, top of the attack zone as Dulac has it. A shot and a goal at 6:02. Hard to see. I think that was Dulac, number 14, but can't be positive. 14 would be Dulac, Cooper Dulac. As that brought ahead. That ball, Northville has it over the midfield. Racing in, that pulled around. Between the hash marks is Thackeray over on the near wing. Ground ball, trying to rake it up back over there is Pearson. Pearson over to Dietrich and along the end line. Dietrich moves it. 2-2 is the score. That comes all the way back. That will be Pioneer ball. As Cal brings it ahead. Cal gets into the attack zone on the numbers on the near wing. Cal calling out signals. Now races down towards the goal line, extended, spins with it. Makes a good deke. Fires it in between the hash marks. That goes all the way over. Dutton trying to get it out of bounds over on the far sideline. That will be Northville ball. We're all knotted up at 2 apiece. 5:15 left to go. Mustangs have as they make their way over midfield. Coming into the attack zone is McGarrow. McGarrow has it spinning between the hash marks. Now flips it over on the near wing to Jaime. Jaime waits for substitutions. Is coming in is Dulac, who tied it up, we believe. Now between the hash marks. Dulac down outside the near hash marks, flips it over to Dietrich. Dietrich just goes underneath the goal line, extend from the near side to the far side. Fires it out between the hash marks, trying to make his way in is Hinshaw. As the ball just outside of the crease, raked up by Denzin. There is a whistle. As that is going to be Pioneer. Gotcha. Looks like a penalty on Pioneer. Looks like a cross-check on Pioneer at 4:33. So that's going to keep the ball with the Mustangs. 2-2 Mustangs with possession. We're on the near wing. That fired down by Jaime. Gets it back. Now top of the, just inside between the hash marks is Hinshaw. Hinshaw trying to fire it down. That tipped up high. It rolls all the way back to the gate back behind, closest to it. Run out by Northville. They will maintain possession as Alexander has it now on the far hash marks, just underneath the goal line, extended. Flips it, top of the attack zone over between the hash marks, over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw over on the near wing. Gets it over to Jaime. Jaime back to Hinshaw, now flipped over on the far wing. Back to Hinshaw between the hash marks, now over to Jaime. Fires it. Dietrich has it, even with the goal line. Back to Jaime, top of the attack zone. Now over, Jaime gets it back between the hash marks, fires it over on the far wing, just outside. Shot that tipped, as that was Dietrich who got it just outside of the crease on the far side and able to grab that. Pioneer able to run it out as that flipped over to Dietrich. Denzin, excuse me, has it. And trying to move it back over. Denzin runs ahead with it over his own restraining line. Denzin into the midfield. Denzin over midfield. That pulled down. Now here comes Northville the other direction as Ranka has it. Firing it, trying to get it over to Dietrich. That knocked down Beer. Fires it ahead. That ground ball now picked up. Northville races the other direction with it. As into the zone is Thackeray. Thackeray on the far wing. As that pop back down, Pioneer intercepts all the way down, trying to get it over to McQueen as that rolls out the far sideline. 3:19 left to go here in the first. 2-2 is our score. Northville had the last goal to tie it up. They have possession as they have thus far dominated the face-off circle. Now bringing it ahead down the far wing. That drop back, picking it up. McQueen has it, top of the attack zone. McQueen back into the midfield area. McQueen flips it over on the far wing, coming down. Ayers with a shot and a score. Ayers fires it in, and Pioneer answers back. What's McQueen's number? 24. Got a moment to run this down. They said they didn't have a number. As we will have a draw or face-off right at Jafar in to take the face-off versus looks like, I believe that's Wellman. And it is, trying to pull it up. Wellman has it popped up. Loose ball, trying to grab it is Braunheimen. Still trying to pull that away between the hash marks. Northville able to rake it up and coming down. And flipped ahead. Jafar has it over on the near wing. Gets that back over to Pearson. Pearson on the near wing, top of the attack zone. Puts it back into the midfield area. As Jaime has it. Just inside the numbers on the near wing, waiting for substitutions to come in. Now racing ahead with it is Dulac. Dulac in. Shot and a score. 14, number Dulac. Ties it up again. Back and forth we go. Pioneer has scored and Northville has answered back every single time. As neither team able to get a goal run going. Northville will try and string a couple goals together here. Pioneer try and take the lead again. As Jafar versus Wellman on the draw. Rosenberg on the far wing over there with, is that 10? I don't think I have a 10 on my roster. Shikachi on the near wing with Jaime. Back over, whistle. And that is going to be Pioneer with the ball. Over on the near wing. Outside the numbers coming in. Rosenberg enters the attack zone. Now steps back into the midfield area. Rosenberg on the near sideline trying to shake free. Working against Wisner there. Fires it between the hash marks. That knocked down as Friedman had it loose. And that raked up. As coming back behind. Burlingame has it back behind his own goal. Waits for the substitutes to come in. Moves it over on the near wing to Ronka. Ronka coming down the near sideline. Flips that ahead just over midfield. Battle for it as Rosenberg ends up getting the body and pushing Thackerty, and he ends up out of bounds. Rosenberg has it. Just at midfield, Rosenberg over midfield now, bringing ahead for Pioneer between the hash marks. Rosenberg into the offensive zone. Rosenberg. Now that pulled away. Here comes the Mustangs racing down outside the far hash marks as that's flipped ahead by Adair. Loose trying to rake it up just at the Pioneer restraining line. Fired back over to Denzin. Denzin moves it ahead. As that ball raked up. And here comes Northville firing it in between the hash marks as that is grabbed by Pearson. Brought back over on the near wing, raked up by Gago. Gago has it. 56 seconds left to go here in the first. All knotted up at 3 apiece as Wolf makes his way. Fires it ahead on the far wing. McQueen trying to get it over. Friedman with a shot as he was falling to the far side. Grabbed by Burlingame. Flag on the field on the near wing. Just at the restraining line into the Northville zone. I did not see the call, but that's going to be Pioneer ball. As Northville will have, is that 34? So Ranka will take a knee. Pioneer will be man up. 42 seconds left to go here in the first. Ayers gets it over on the near wing. Cow just outside the near hash marks. Cow sidearm shot. Good save by Burlingame. Pulled down, racing ahead with it. Coming the other direction is Thackerty. Thackerty gets over midfield. Thackerty for Northville. Now cuts outside the far hash marks. Moves that over on the far wing. Over to Dulac, who has had the last 2 Northville goals. 16 seconds left to go here in the first. Dulac trying to make his way past as that is going to go over to Pioneer as that was an offsides call. Now Pioneer loses the ball, raking it up. Dutton has it coming down outside the far hash marks over midfield. 5 seconds left to go. Dutton racing down as trying to fire it over. Back behind the goal, and that will do it for the first. At the end of 1, it is 3-3. as we want to take a look at the wonderful second quarter sponsors. That includes Stadium Hardware, Specialty Eye Institute, Dr. Louis Gago, Linda Forrester of Real Estate E-Wings Pro, Ann Arbor Made Reclaimed Woodworks, Monahan Seafood Market, Metalark Design and Build, PLJ and Blue Jays Lacrosse Programs, Ron's Garage, and Germain Auto. By the way, Germain Auto will be hosting the Pioneer Booster Bash, as that is coming up. The Pioneer Booster Bash, I think I have a save the date that I can pull up. That is going to be Saturday, April 15th from 7 to 11 at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. It is the biggest fundraising event for the Pioneer Booster Club. And so that is Saturday, April 15th, 7 to 11 at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. Great opportunity to go, and there will be different fundraising opportunities there. You can come in and you can bid on things and things of that nature. So check that out. We're going to play a few messages from the MHSA, and we will be right back.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Pioneer 1-0 on the season, coming in after a nice big win, a 10-9 win. That was over Grosse Pointe South High School back on the 22nd. The game versus Canton was canceled. Coming up next is a home game on Saturday at 11:30. That will be versus Skyline here at Hollway Field. We should have that. We're going to try and broadcast the baseball game and the lacrosse game both on Saturday if Mr. Cass again will be so kind to do a little baseball play-by-play for us. He does a fantastic job. Then Pioneers on the road for 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. So that Skyline game got moved due to a shortage of officials. So if you ever watch an official and think you can do a better job, well, call the MHSAA. We need more officials. We can't have the games we love without them. Pioneer going from left to right, Northville going right to left. As on the face-off, that rolled over on the far wing, trying to pull it away is Rosenberg. Rosenberg rakes it up. Rosenberg able to try and grab that as it was turned into a yard sale, pulled up. Here comes Northville as Dietrich has it on the far wing, despite some heavy checking from Pioneer. Dietrich gets it into the offensive zone. Coming down on the far sideline, Dietrich goes underneath the goal line extended. Flips that back as that rolls out to the restraining line. Raked up over there as Hinshaw comes down the far sideline with it. Hinshaw goes underneath the goal line extended. We're knotted up at 3 apiece. Pioneer scored first, and Northville answer back as that has happened 3 times in a row. Trying to rake over, shot by Hinshaw, goes just wide over to the near side. Controlled by Northville as Dulac fires it, rolls all the way back towards the top of the attack zone. As Schaefer trying to rake it up with the long cross, whistle blown. Looks like it's going to be a penalty to Rosenberg, who will take a knee on the sideline. So that will put Northville in a man-up situation. 11:02 left to go here before halftime. 3-3 is the score. Northville trying to string a couple goals together. That'd be the first time it has happened all game long. As Northville on the far wing gets it just above the goal line extended to Pearson. Now back, top of the attack zone over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw over on the near wing as there's a shot and a goal as Alexander puts it in, and that's 2 Northville goals together.
Northville goal, number 33, Austin Alexander.
And at 10:49, so Northville has the first back-to-back goals of the game. Face off Right at center, Ayers in to take the face-off versus Jafar. They'll take a look, and they're going to do a stick check here. And someone's called for a stick check. They just got to make sure there's a number of regulations that has to happen. Now, unlike women's lacrosse, the stick has to it has to not be able to stay in the cradle. It's a shallower cradle for women's lacrosse than it is for men's lacrosse. And you can only have the shooting strings in certain places and things of that nature. So the official walking over with the cross, and they'll talk to the Northville coaching staff, and looks like someone might just need to adjust that cross there. So they're taking care of that, and they'll get a new cross out there at 10:49. 4-3, Northville with the lead. As the lights on in a gray, hazy Michigan day. So that'll be a penalty on the stick check. Pioneer will be man up. Jafar in to take the face-off versus Ayers. On the near wing is Dutton. On the far wing is Porter, joined over there. As racing and joined over on that far side by Wisner. And ball grabbed by Pioneer. Ayers has it over right at the restraining line. Fires it back just above the goal line, extended to McQueen. Looking for a place to go with it. That knocked down as batted out of the air by Wisner. Still loose on the ground. Raked up. Here comes Northville the other direction. Is Adder had it. Whistle. As that is going to be a penalty to Northville. So Pioneer will have 2 extra players and maintain possession. As they'll get everyone in, so 2 players with the knee over to the left of the scorer's table over on that far side for Northville. As Dutton has it on the near wing, gets it top of the attack zone between the hash marks. Dutton gets it back. Now again, firing it over to Ayers. Ayers moves it over on the far wing to Rosenberg, gets it back to Ayers, top of the attack zone. Over on the near wing, Dutton on the hash marks, gets it over. McQueen with the shot. That deflected away, run out. Closest to it is going to be Cal, so that will stay Pioneer ball. Pioneer down by 1. As Northville has the 4-3 lead with 10 minutes left to go. Cal has it. Even with the goal on the far wing. Fakes the pass, now hits it, top of the attack zone. Over between the hash marks to Rosenberg. Now gets it over on the near wing to McQueen. McQueen trying to fire it across the way. Rosenberg with the shot. Closest to it it's going to be, good job running it out by Burlingame. That's going to be Northville ball. 9:47 left to go, 4-3 Northville with the ball as Burlingame has it, knocked down, trying to pull it away. Ground ball raked up, coming over. Here comes Pioneer as Cal with the shot. And in. That's going to be a goal. Pioneer able to tie it up. McQueen puts it in. Cal with the assist. As it is 4-4 at 9:36. Pioneer able to stop a 2-goal run by the Mustangs. Pioneer will look to make a goal run of their own. As Jafar in to take the face-off versus Wellman. As that levered ground ball, bringing it up, Wellman. Raked up as here comes Shikachi. Shikachi moves it over on the far wing. Gets it over to Wolf. Wolf, and back over to Cal. Cal gets into the attack zone, coming down outside the numbers. Cal fires it back into the midfield area for Rosenberg. Rosenberg on the far sideline. Rosenberg gets that over to Latish. That shot goes just wide. Closest to it is going to be Beers, so that will be Pioneer ball. Beer on the end line. 9:08 left to go. That ball. Cow has it just underneath the goal line. Extended, comes over onto the near wing. Cow gets over to McQueen. McQueen with the shot. Good job to get a piece of that by Burlingame. And closest to it, Pioneer. They maintain possession with 8:59 left to go. All knotted up at 4 apiece. Beer gets it over to Cow. Cow fires it all the way on the far sideline. Top of the attack zone to Rosenberg. Rosenberg. It's all the way back to Latish. Latish. Between the hash marks, get a little room to work, gets a running start into the attack zone, fakes the pass, coming down on the near sidelines. Now ducks under, Latish. Moves it over onto the far wing, as that is grabbed by Wolf. Wolf sends it to Rosenberg between the hash marks, back in the midfield area. Rosenberg gets about 8 yards to work, gets a screen over there by Latish. Now Rosenberg in, bounce shot, that goes just high, racing over to get it. Going to run it out, that is going to maintain Pioneer ball. 8:22 left to go. Pioneer has it and along the end line as Cow going, trying to come up the near hash marks. Cow right at the goal line, extended, switches directions, goes back behind the cage, coming up, shot and a goal. As Pioneer able to string a couple goals together now. Cow able to work his way around the crease, coming just up above the goal line, extended on the far wing and fired it in. That is Cow's second goal of the game. And Pioneer has a 2-goal run, able to take the lead 5-4. 8:12 left to go. Jafar comes in to take the face-off. Over on the near wing, Karowski is joined over here by Mergero. As Ayers trying to rake up the ball. Ayers gets it for Pioneer. Now that's loose. Popped up high in the air. Bounces back behind everyone. Now Ayers gets it. Knocked out of his cross. Still battling right at the restraining line. Ayers gets it on a hop. Ayers goes down into the attack zone outside the numbers. Ayers, even with the goal, over to McQueen. McQueen has that popped out, grabbed out of midair. Here comes the Mustangs. The other direction, racing down just on the numbers. Coming Thackerty. Gets over midfield for Northville. Thackerty with the long cross gets into the attack zone. Thackerty steps back into the midfield area. Now trying to fire a cutting player. Stop. Great save by Denson. As Pioneer Denson coming the other direction gets right to midfield. Denson over midfield. Denson racing down. Fires it over. That grabbed on the far wing by Beer. Beer gets it back, and Cow calling out signals, getting everyone set. I believe the last Pioneer goalie who I saw scored, I think Roberts was able to score on one way race down. Doesn't happen often. Flip back over on the near wing. Dutton has it outside the hash marks. Now gets it back behind to McQueen, just underneath the goal line extended. McQueen and along the end line. McQueen trying to cut up above the goal line extended. Now gets between the hash marks. McQueen walled off there. McQueen trying to come down the far hash marks. Puts a shot. Good save there by Burlingame. Comes over on the near wing, out of bounds. Closest to it is going to be Northville, so they will have the ball. As Hyame has it on the near wing. Hyame fires it ahead. 6:34 left to go. Here in the second is Pioneer up by a goal. That moved over on the near wing. It just slips out of the cross. Over Alexander had it and almost looked like he tried to make a move before it was secured. That is going to be Pioneer ball, is whipped all the way over midfield. As good job trying to get to Rosenberg, but he couldn't quite pull it in. Northville has it coming the other direction. As over midfield, racing down with it, number 10, who I don't have on my roster. And flipped over. Speaking of number 10, Gago gets it for Pioneer, knocking it ahead. As trying to avoid pressure back there by Dietrich. Now Denson fires it down the far wing, then just over the reach, trying to fire it ahead, tried to get it to Wolf. That rolls into the attack zone now picked up. Here comes Gago. Gago gets over midfield for Pioneer, bringing it the other direction. Gago over on the near wing, feeds it to McQueen. 5:46 left to go. Pioneer up by a goal, 5-4. As McQueen trying to make his way right to the near hash marks. Now spinning with it, trying to get in. That ball loose. McQueen trying to rake it up as wouldn't get raked up there. McQueen still battling for it on the ground. Now that grab by Rosenberg. Rosenberg underneath the goal line extended, going from the near side to the far side. Rosenberg cuts up, shot. Oh, what a good play by Burlingame to pop that out of midair. Looked like it was going to be a good goal, but fantastic keeping by the Northville keeper. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Jaime. Jaime over midfield. Jaime fires it down, grab, fired in, and a goal that was number 24, Pearson, who got it from Jaime right in front and fired it in. The assist was to Jaime, number 18. So Pearson's goal stops a 2-goal run for Pioneer at 5:02, and we are all knotted up again. Pioneer 5 and Northville 5. Face-off right at center. Wellman in to take the face-off versus Jafar. On the near wing is McGarrow. Over there with Latish. Popped up high, trying to get it, is coming ahead with it. That grabbed out midair by Latish. Latish gets it over to Cal. Cal between the hash marks. Cal. It's into the offensive zone. Cal coming down outside the numbers underneath the goal line extended. 4:45 left to go here in the first half. Cal racing from the near side to the far side. Firing out in front. Beer with a shot. Another save by Burlingame, as he has been money in between the pipes. He has stolen a couple fantastic opportunities away from Pioneer with this excellent play. And high pass over. Flipped and out of bounds, is just off the cross. Right, just shy of midfield. That's going to be Pioneer ball as Ayers has it. Right at midfield, goes over the midfield arc. Ayers moves it ahead, racing down with it. Spinning over is Yang. Yang lofts it high, then over to Latish. Latish just above the goal line extended here for McQueen. McQueen between the hash marks. McQueen with the shot, and he scores. McQueen puts Pioneer up 6-5. Well, back and forth we go. Second goal by McQueen in this game. Pioneer up 6-5. 4:03 left to go here in the first half. Wellman and Jafar again in to take the draw. Shikachi on the far wing, joined over on that side by Frauenheim. On the near wing is Dutton with McGarrow. Pulling it. Jafar has it. Comes outside the far hash marks. Jafar firing it down. That plucked up out of midair by Pearson. Pearson sends it back. Controlled by Northville. And back over to Dulac. As there is whistles and action away from the ball. .343 substitutions in. Controlled by the Mustangs. As that is launched over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw on the far hash marks. Hinshaw gets over the restraining line, coming down the far hash marks, even with the goal now, fires it over to Dietrich. Shot. As that closest to it is Northville. They'll pluck that up as Pearson with it, fires it out in front. That grabbed out of midair by Denson. Not to be outdone, as both keepers playing fantastic. Coming down the far sideline is Gago. Gago flips it back to Denson. Denson back over to Gago. Gago races over midfield. Gago between the hash marks, heads towards the restraining line. Gago gets into the attack, so now comes back on the near sideline. Gago flips it ahead to McQueen. McQueen, even with the goal on the near sideline. McQueen comes inside the numbers, trying to get between the hash marks. McQueen fires it over onto the far wing, over to Cal. Cal right at the restraining line, now races down the numbers, loses his footing, pops back up, still has the ball, That's impressive. Flipped over to Ayers back in the midfield area. Ayers comes between the hash marks. 2:30 left to go. And looks like a timeout call by Pioneer. Well, let's talk about, again, those second quarter sponsors, as that includes Stadium Hardware, Specialty Eye Institute, Dr. Louis Gago, Linda Forrester, real estate agent with the E-Wings Pro, Ann Arbor Made, Reclaimed Woodworks, Monahan Seafood Market, Meadowlark Design and Build, PLG and Blue Jays Lacrosse Program, Ron's Garage, and Germain Auto. So we appreciate all of those wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneers Lacrosse. Please, if you could, help support those folks who support the team. We would be very, very grateful. As a little moisture coming down, it held off a little rain on the windows, not much, but held off throughout the baseball game. Again, Pioneer able to pull off the 1-0 win on their opening baseball game versus Milan. That started at 4:30. Congratulations to the Pioneer baseball team. Pioneer men's lacrosse trying to win their opener here at Hollway Field. Northville Mustangs have something to say about that. It is 6-5 Pioneer right now with the lead with 2:30 left to go before halftime. Both squads come back out onto the field. Pioneer with the ball. As on the far wing, that fired even with the goal line extended. Cow has it, now moves it over to McQueen. McQueen comes above the goal line extended on the near wing. McQueen with the shot. It was tipped away by Burlingame, but a whistle beforehand. That is going to go over to Northville. 2:19 left to go here before halftime as Ranka has it in along the end line. Ranka flips that over onto the near wing. Now bringing ahead is Beshart. Fired it over, and that will roll out of bounds as just over the cross of Tackety. And on the near wing, Beer brings ahead. Over on the far wing, Schaefer. And over midfield, racing down with it is Rosenberg. Rosenberg into the attack zone. Rosenberg steps back into the midfield area. Rosenberg waits for everyone to get set. Now fires it over to Ayers. Ayers on the near hash marks, just in the midfield area. Ayers down on the near wing, gets it over to McQueen. McQueen back. Oh, and just out of the reach of Cow, out of bounds. That will go over to Northville with 1 minute 35 seconds left to go. Pioneer 6, Northville 5. Northville looking to tie it up as racing down. Coming down on that far sideline, Mustangs over their own restraining line. Making a cut over midfield. And into the attack zone, coming all the way down with it is Jaime. Underneath the goal line extended on the near wing. Now, switches spots, trying to get between the hash marks. That ball loose, raked up. Northville has it, now on the ground again, and picked up by Gago. Now racing over down the near wing. Gago trying to stay on sides. Loses an edge. That comes down over at the restraining line, trying to keep it in bounds. Over on the far sideline is Tackety. Battle for right at the far sideline, and there's a whistle. As timeout called by Pioneer. As they get possession long enough to call the timeout, a little bit of chaos over on that far sideline right in front of the Pioneer bench. We'll take a moment to play a message from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
49 seconds left to go before halftime. Over into the far corner, trying to grab it. That popped up. Here comes the Mustangs, but a whistle as Thackeray had it. Ball over on the far wing. St. McQueen gets it. Shot by Ayers, who puts it in. Ayers scores with McQueen on the assist for the Ayers goal. Pioneer puts 2 goals together in a goal run. It's 7-5 Pioneer. Face off right at between the blockades, Jafar versus Wellman. As on the near wing is Myers as well as Kurowski. On the far wing, Porter. Joined over there by Eder. Ball raked up, Mustang ball as Jafar gets over the restraining line. Outside of the near side hash marks, Jafar flips that. Between the hash marks over to Myers. Myers moves it over onto the far wing as Hinshaw has it right at the restraining line. Hinshaw steps right to the restraining line, now racing down between the hash marks, moves it over onto the near wing, over to Alexander. Alexander back, gets it back over to Jaime. Jaime between the hash marks, sidearm shot just goes wide. Huge blast from about 15 yards out, and that will do it. At halftime, Pioneer has the 7-5 lead. We'll take a 10-minute halftime. As we do want to thank all the wonderful third quarter sponsors. That includes Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Franklin Templeton, the Gago Fertility, Dr. April Gago, Knights, Southside Market, Jen Gear Photography, First Martin Corporation, Mike Martin, who's a Pioneer alum, Venue Restaurant and Bar, State and Liberty Clothing, Coach M4 Barbershop, and Electric Lawn Care. We want to thank all those wonderful, amazing sponsors. As let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back in about 9 minutes, 20 seconds.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
1 minute, 23 seconds counting down here. So taking a look at what we had in the first half, started off with Cal with a goal in the first quarter at 9:35 in the first, then at 8:47. It was an answer back by Dietrich for Northville at 7:04. Pioneer goal as it was Dutton who put it in to put Pioneer up 2-1. Northville answered back as Duloc scored to make it 2-2. At 3:05, Pioneer had a goal as Ayers put it in from McQueen. Then at 2:23, it was Northville goal as Duloc had his second of the game. Northville then started off the second with a goal, putting the first goal run together at 10:49, as that was a goal by Alexander. Pioneer came back to tie it as McQueen had a goal at 9:36 from Cal. Then at 8:12, Cal scored again to put Pioneer up. Northville tied it back up at 5:02 as that was a goal by Pearson, assist to Jaime. Then at 4:03, it was a Pioneer goal by McQueen with 29 seconds left. Ayers scored from McQueen, and that's where we're at, 7-5 here coming into this third quarter. First home game for Pioneer as they won their first game, looking to put 2 wins together to start off the season. Northville had a loss 12-6 on their first game of the season, so they're looking to get back to 500. Pioneer going from right to left, Northville going from left to right on your internet dial. Wellman in to take the face-off on the other side is Jaime. Porter on the near wing, joined there by Wisner. That popped up, grabbed, and Jaime has it into the attack zone. Jaime racing down, firing it, and tipped off of a cross out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball as it was a pass that went out of bounds, not a shot. So alternate possession there, and Gago has it. 11:52 left to go, 7-5 Pioneer with the lead. Gago fires it down the far sideline and loose, raked up. Here comes Northville the other direction as bringing it ahead is Alexander. Alexander over the restraining line between the hash marks. And a whistle, and that is going to go over to Pioneer. Schaefer fires it. That tipped off of a cross, pulled up, raked up. Here comes the Mustangs as racing ahead with it is Dietrich. Dietrich coming down the near hash marks, gets into the attack zone. Dietrich heads back into the midfield area. Dietrich now coming down just between the numbers. And down the numbers, goes underneath the goal line extended. Dietrich in along the end line, going from the near side to the far side. Dietrich stops right behind the goal. Now coming over onto the far wing. Dietrich works his way around the crease, fires it, as that will roll out of bounds. Closest to it is going to be Pearson. That will stay Northville ball. 11:03 left to go here in the third. 7-5 Pioneer with the lead. Northville with the ball in the offensive zone. As Dulac coming over the goal line extended, just inside the far hash marks, trying to work his way free. Now coming the other direction, here comes Denzen. Denzen over midfield. Denzen gets it over now. Coming ahead with it is Rosenberg. Rosenberg goes over the restraining line, just inside the numbers on the near wing. Rosenberg comes over along the near sideline. Rosenberg waiting for everyone to get set. Now Rosenberg stutter steps, cuts up towards the restraining line. Fires it all the way over on the far wing to McQueen. McQueen, top of the attack zone, working his way around the restraining line. McQueen between the hash marks, steps into the midfield area. McQueen fires it over to Ayers. Ayers gets it back in the midfield area to Rosenberg. Rosenberg heads between the hash marks. Rosenberg now calling out signals on the far hash marks about 5 yards out into the midfield area. Rosenberg trying to make his way around Ranka. Rosenberg between the hash marks, fires it over, just off of the tip of Denton's cross, and that will go out of bounds over to the Mustangs. 7-5 Pioneer with the lead. 9:43 left to go here in the third. As Mustangs bringing it down the far sideline, over their own restraining line, bringing it up is Jaime. Over midfield between the hash marks, Jaime Gets it ahead, loose ground ball, raked up now by Jaime on the near wing. And a whistle. Timeout called. As that at 9:25. So timeout allows us to talk again about those third quarter sponsors. We appreciate all the wonderful sponsors of Pioneer Men's Lacrosse, including Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Franklin Templeton, Gago Fertility, Dr. April Gago, Knights Southside Market, Jen Greer Photography, First Martin Corporation, Mike Martin, a Pioneer alum, Venue Restaurant and Bar, State and Liberty Clothing, Coach and Four Barber Shop. So thank you to all of those wonderful, wonderful sponsors as Pioneer up 7-5. Northville has had an opportunity early and is trying to extend and get the game back to a one-goal game. It has been a fairly back-and-forth game today. And we've only lost 4 degrees coming into the second half as it is 56 degrees, overcast day here. Lights are on at Hollway Field. Everyone bundled up in the stands. For a early season game, this is a fairly decent crowd. It's normally a little sparser the colder weather early on. So we appreciate all those wonderful fans out here. We know the players don't care about the weather. They'll be out there no matter what, but not so much the parents. So if you couldn't make it or are watching, thank you for supporting the team. Over on the near wing is Pearson, who has it about 5 feet above the goal line, extended, flips it back the restraining line, then gets it back. Loose ball, ground ball, trying to rake it up is Schaefer. Schaefer trying to get to it, and that goes out of bounds. Last touch by Northville. That should be Pioneer ball. Gago has it on the end line. 9:15 left to go. Gago fires it all the way, trying to get to it. That pulled up the other direction. Here comes the Mustangs with a shot. And tipped out. Good job by Denson to get a piece of it. Closest to it was Northville, so they will maintain possession as Dietrich has it. And along the end line, being marked by Gago. Dietrich comes over outside the far hash marks, all the way back, top of the attack zone, over to Dulac. Dulac coming down the numbers on the far wing. Dulac goes underneath the goal line, extended with 8:55 left to go here in the third. Dulac comes directly behind the goal, now cuts back along the far side of the crease. Flips it over on that far wing. Spinning with it over there is Dietrich. Dietrich sends it back into the midfield area. Myers comes between the hash marks. Myers gets a running start down the near hash mark, slips it right back behind, now out in front. There's a shot and a goal by Dietrich. So Northville with the first goal of the third. Yes. As the assist to Dulac, number 14, on the Dietrich goal, at 8:31. It's a one-goal game. Pioneer 7, Northville 6 is face-off right between the block A's. Wellman and Jafar back in there for Northville. As that rolled back, racing over to get it, raked up by Jafar. Beer coming over to try and wall him off. Jafar comes over the restraining line outside the hash marks on the near side, flipping that over to Pearson. Pearson back. Top of the attack zone. Myers gets it over onto the far wing. As that is over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw fades over to the near hash marks. Now flips that back. Getting a running start. Racing down with it is Jaime. Jaime outside the near hash marks, trying to get between the hash marks. Slips that back over to Dulac. Dulac back underneath the goal line, extended to Dietrich. Dietrich and along the end line. Dietrich on the far hash, or on the near hash marks, gets right back behind the goal, trying to fire it out in front. Great save by Denson, as it was a beautiful pass to Pearson right on the near hash marks. Denson able to flip around and get it as he had leapt up to try and knock that pass over. Good reaction. Schaefer fires it ahead off of the tip, as I think Cal might have tipped it as it was going for Friedman. Both players thought the pass was for them, and that ends up going out of bounds back over to Northville. 7:30 left to go here in the third. Exciting one-goal game between these two teams to open up the home slate for Pioneer. That flipped over onto the far wing. Northville bringing it ahead as that will go out of bounds. As Betchard had it. Coming back over. This is a shot by McQueen. Closest to it, run out by Cow. He will maintain possession. Pioneer in the offensive zone. Cow has it. And along the end line, being watched over there by Ranka. Cow flips it over to McQueen just along the goal line extended, just underneath the goal line extended on the far wing. McQueen side steps onto the far hash marks. McQueen comes over the goal line extended, double team there, splits past it, and rolls over into the crease, raked up there by Burlingame. Burlingame has it just outside of his crease on the near wing. 6:44 left to go here in the third. Pioneer up 7-6. Northville with possession. Ground ball right at midfield. Shikachi trying to pull that away, trying to get it away from Alexander. Still loose on the ground. That raked up by Myers. So that's going to be a push with possession over on Northville. That'll go over to Pioneer. As Pioneer has it, coming down the far sideline is Dutton. Over to Ayers. Ayers between the hash marks, right at the restraining line. Over to Cow on the near hash marks. Cow about a foot outside of the offensive zone. Now steps over the restraining line. Cow cuts between the hash marks. Cow now comes over onto the near wing. Cow looking for a place to go with it. Trying to cut between a pair of defenders. Ground ball. That raked up. Coming the other direction. Here comes Fraunheim. Fraunheim has that knocked away by Ayers. Ayers picks it up coming down the far sideline. Ayers back into the offensive zone, trying to avoid a check by Fraunheim. Now Rosenberg has it on the near hash marks, just inside the offensive zone. Rosenberg over on the near wing to Cow. Cow with the sidearm shot. Again, great save over there by Burlingame. He has it in his own crease, Burlingame. Flips that over to Ranka. Coming outside the numbers, over his own restraining line, firing it ahead. That picked up. Thackerty has it inside the attack zone. Thackerty inside the numbers, flips it over, shot, and a goal as that was put in by number 24, Pearson. Thackerty set that one up. As Pearson from Thackerty. And we are all knotted up. Northville with a 2-goal run. Pioneer closed the half with a 2-goal run, and Northville started this half with a 2-goal run of their own. Wellman in to take the face-off. Again, Beer on the near wing over here with Wisner. Jafar on the face-off on the other side of Wellman. I think it's Rosenberg and McGrero on the far wing. Popped up, that grabbed. Trying to rake it up down over there. Popped up high. Excuse me, that was 18, which is going to be Yang. Andrew Yang trying to get to it. Ground ball, that raked up by Northville. Coming ahead with it is Dietrich. Dietrich inside the numbers on the near wing. Dietrich goes underneath the goal line extended. 5 minutes left to go here in the third. Dietrich has Goggle marking him. Dietrich trying to come along the crease on the far side. That's saved. Popped up high, now raked up by Denzin. There is a whistle as interference the call. I think it is Wellman over on that far sideline getting taken care of. Now he pops up and he'll take a knee in that area. Man up for the Mustangs. Pop back, top of the attack zone, over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw rakes it up, now moves it over on the near wing, over to Jaime. Jaime back, top of the attack zone to Hinshaw. Hinshaw over on the far wing, now Hinshaw gets it back between the hash marks, over to Jaime on the near wing. Back over to Hinshaw, now over to Dulac. Dulac sends it down. Even with the goal extended on that far side, popped up, loose, back behind. Dietrich trying to get to it. Dietrich battling back there as Porter trying to separate that. Gago now trying to pull it away from Dietrich. Dietrich spins, avoids some pressure. Dietrich on that far hash marks trying to get a place to go with it. That ball loose, ground ball raked up. As with it, Denson back behind his own goal, gets it over to Schaefer on the near wing. Schaefer pops it up, wouldn't settle down for him. Now Pearson with it between the hash marks. That's grabbed, racing over. Ayers has it on a hop. Ayers fires it over to Dutton. Dutton gets into the attack zone over to Cow. Cow steps back into the midfield area, gets about 8 yards to work in that midfield area. Now Ayers has it between the hash marks. Pioneer with the ball, 3:32 left to go here in the third. All knotted up at 7 apiece. McQueen just underneath the goal line extended, moves it over to Friedman. Friedman over to Cow. Cow has it on the numbers on the near wing. Cow gets it back into the midfield area for Ayers. Ayers flips it over to Shikachi. Shikachi over to McQueen. McQueen even with the goal over on that far wing. McQueen gets it over to Ayers. Ayers over to Cow, back to Ayers. Ayers, overhand shot, knocked down. Burlingame. Another fantastic save. Arcs it all the way over midfield. Loose ball. Schaefer trying to rake it up, battling over there with Dietrich. Still loose. Schaefer trying to pop it up in the air. That gets over to Ayers. Ayers has it for Pioneer. Down on the far hash marks, into the attack zone, over to Cow. Cow thought about a sidearm shot. Now falling to the ground, fires it up. There's a flag on the ground. Battle for it on the near sideline. That goes out of bounds. Gotcha. So that is going to be a Northville penalty. So Pioneer man up. Believe it was tripping. The call, I missed the call there. Yep, that'd be tripping. Ayers has it, top of the attack zone on the near wing, flips that back over onto the far wing. Rosenberg has it, back over to Ladish. Ladish has it between the hash marks, right at the restraining line. Fired over to Cow, trying to get it in between, over to Friedman. Friedman shot. That goes just wide to the far side. Closes it to it back there was McQueen, who ran it out. So McQueen has it on the end line. McQueen on the far hash marks. McQueen, it's all the way to Rosenberg. Rosenberg over to Ladish. Ladish over to Ayers, now on the near wing. Cow has it, trying to get it over to McQueen. That just tipped off of the tip of his cross out of bounds. That goes over to Northville. 1 minute, 55 seconds left to go here in the third. 7-7 is our score. Racing ahead with it. Here comes the Mustangs as Ronka gets it to midfield. Now Hinshaw bringing it down on those far hash marks. Hinshaw down on the far sideline, gets it to Dietrich. Even with the goal, Dietrich sends it back. Top of the attack zone over to Dulac. Northville already has their highest goal scores of the season coming in. Shot that off the pole and goes out of bounds. Closest to it is going to be Northville. They scored 6 goals in their first game. They have 7 goals today. Pioneer had 9 in their first game. They're looking to get to that or eclipse it. As over the goal line extended, Dietrich has it. Fires it right back behind, coming over onto the near wing. Spun back around as Jaime has it. Jaime trying to make his way and popped up and grabbed by Denson. Denson able to snag that out of midair, gets it over to Schaefer. Schaefer bringing it ahead, 57 seconds left to go here in the third. We're still knotted up. Shikachi has it right at midfield. And off of the pole, coming ahead with it the other direction. Here comes Thackeray. Thackeray comes between the hash marks over on the far wing. Shot and a goal. As that was a goal by Dietrich. By Thackeray set it up. 3-goal run by Northville as they now have the 8-7 lead with 43 seconds left. That's the longest goal run of either team in this game. And Beer on the near wing with Wisner. Over on the far wing is Magrero with Rosenberg, and it is going to be Jafar versus, is that Porter? I think it might be Porter in to take the face-off for Pioneer. It indeed was Porter. As bringing it ahead, here comes Jafar. Jafar gains the zone, offensive zone for Northville. Now steps back into the midfield area. Flips that over, as with it is Pearson. Pearson over to Dietrich on the near wing. And flipped over to the oncoming Jaime between the hash marks, about 5 yards outside of the offensive zone. Flip back underneath the goal line, extended for Dietrich. Dietrich comes to the near side, spins, trying to get around the crease, looking for a shot, goes back underneath the goal line, extended, now wraps around to the far side. Sends it back, top of the attack zone, over to Jaime. Jaime coming between the hash marks, as that will do it for the third. We end up with Northville with the 8-7 lead. As we want to thank the wonderful, amazing fourth quarter sponsors that include Specialty Eye Institute, Dr. Louis Gago, Linda Forrester, Real Estate One, Ewing Pros, Ann Arbor Made Reclaimed Wood, Monahan Seafood Market, McNamara's Orthodontics, Germain Auto, Pollock Investment Advisors, Bob Pollock, who's a Pioneer alum, Winsler Gear, and Gree Shaber Dentistry. Thank you very, very much for all those folks who help support the team. Please help support them. Let's play a couple messages from the MHSAA. We will be back. Northville 8, Pioneers 7 with the fourth quarter coming up.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
8-7 Northville with the lead over Pioneer. One more quarter left as Jafar in to take the face-off. On the other side is Wellman. As they get down into the face-off position, as they'll get the ball set, step away. And there's the whistle. Spun and picked up. Jafar has it, rakes it up. And Northville going from right to left here in this fourth quarter. They get it into the offensive zone. As they move it on to an oncoming Jaime. Loose as that into the offensive zone. Flipped back over by Pearson. And Northville calls the timeout as they want to maintain that possession as we head into the fourth quarter. Every single possession is so important. Again, Pioneer ended the half on a 2-goal run. Northville started off this second half with a 3-goal run. They scored at 8:31 as that was put in by Dietrich, the assist to Dulac. Then they scored at 5:21 as that was a goal by Pearson, assist to Thackeray. And then with 48 seconds left, it was Dietrich again scoring. That would be his his third goal. So he has a hat trick, Dietrich does. With 43 seconds left to go. Thackeray on the assist. As everyone is gathered around their coaching staff, Northville heads back out onto the field. 11 minutes, 41 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer looking to try and get this game tied up. Northville would love to continue their 3-goal run and make it 4. As looks like out there, I believe Jaime's going to start off with the ball. And actually coming over, Dietrich has it underneath the goal line extended. Being watched over there by Gago. Dietrich heads to the far side of the goal now. Swim move, trying to get above the goal line extended. Dietrich walled off by Gago. That flip, top of the attack zone. Moved over as bringing it over. Jaime has it between the hash marks. Jaime in, coming down the far hash marks. Jaime coming in, fires it right back behind to Dietrich. Dietrich rolled all the way over and out of bounds. Valiant effort as racing all the way out there was Dulac, but he just couldn't get to it in time. Pioneer ball. As Pioneer racing in with it, Dutton. Outside the near hash marks, flips that over as now bringing it ahead into the attack zone is Rosenberg. Rosenberg on the far hash marks in that midfield area. 10:50 left to go here in the fourth. 8-7, Northville with the lead. Rosenberg on the near hash marks, gets it over to McQueen. McQueen just above the goal line extended. McQueen gets it back over to Cow. In along the end line, Cow directly behind the goal, cuts over along the far side of the crease. Cow coming in, shot as that pulled away, coming the other direction. Here comes Northville, loose ball, rolls over midfield, raked up. Here comes Schaefer. Schaefer down the near hash mark. Schaefer fires it over to McQueen. McQueen makes a move, coming in, shot, and Burlingame with the save. .10-15, Burlingame gets it over to Ranka. Coming up the near side, pressure from McQueen back in the defensive zone for Northville. Now coming up on the far side, back over on the near wing to Ranka. Ranka gets it over and out of bounds, trying to sky it over to Thackeray. And those long passes are not easy, especially in this gray overcast weather. You can lose that ball up in the clouds pretty easily. As Dutton coming down the near sideline for Pioneer. Dutton right to the restraining line. Flips that over between the hash marks over to Ayers. Ayers steps into the offensive zone. Ayers flips that back over to Yang. Yang now on the near hash marks. Gets it over on the near wing to Dutton. Dutton over to McQueen. Just under the goal line, extended on the near wing. McQueen trying to flip that over, deflected and raked up. McQueen has it right on the end line. McQueen underneath the goal line, extended by about 5 yards now. Goes over the goal line, extended, moves it back underneath over to Cow. Cow comes on the numbers, flips that back over to Friedman. Friedman gets it over to Ayers in the midfield area. Ayers over on the near wing to Yang. He sends that just over above the goal line, extended to Dutton. Dutton over to McQueen. McQueen just outside the hash marks, even with the goal. Now Ayers thought about it just inside of the attack zone. Back over to Yang. Yang just inside the numbers on the near wing. Back over to Ayers. He steps into the midfield area. 8:50 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer down by a goal. Moved over to Yang. Yang flips that over to McQueen. Shot and a save by Burlingame again. Burlingame has really played lights out. Coming down on the near wing is Ranka. Ranka holding on to it. That flip back over to Burlingame. 8:28 left to go. That's skied. Running over with it. Coming ahead with it is Dulac. Dulac into the offensive zone. Flips that over onto the far wing. With it over there is Pearson. Pearson gets it back up over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw between the hash marks, racing in. There's a bounce shot. Good save by Denson. Denson moves it over onto the near wing. As trying to rake it up. Here comes Yang trying to move it over. Wouldn't settle down in his cross. Now racing the other way. Sidearm shot and a goal by number 18, Jaime. And it's a 2-goal. As it is a 2-goal lead now by Northville, as they have a 4-goal run going. Pioneer would love to put a stop to that. Northville wants their foot on the gas here. Jafar in to take the face-off. That's Wellman on the other side. Far wing is Beer and Wessner. Meyer on the near side with Porter, on the near wing with Porter. Meyer rakes it up. Is coming ahead with it, Myers. Fires it onto that far wing. With it is Pearson. Pearson on the far sideline moves it over to Dulac. Dulac waiting for substitutions to come in about 13 yards outside of the attack zone on that far sideline. Flipped over to Myers. Myers between the hash marks, 10 yards in the midfield area. Myers back over to Dulac. Dulac coming down the numbers into the offensive zone. Dulac just above the goal line extended now, even with the goal line extended. Then flip back over. Dulac goes back behind the goal from the far side to the near side. Now trying to wrap around the crease, coming in, shot that off to the near side, raked up by Denzin. In the crease, Denzin flips that back over on the far wing as Gago has it. Gago skies it over on the near wing, trying to get to Schaefer. Just off the tip of his cross, out of bounds. That will be Northville ball as they have it. The lead 9-7. Between the hash marks coming in, that ball rolls out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball, as I believe that was a pass, not a shot. And skied all the way to midfield, racing ahead with it. Here comes Ladish. Ladish over the restraining line, gets over to McQueen, even with the goal on the near side. McQueen fires it out in front, trying to get it over to Friedman. That ball stolen away, coming the other direction with it. Here comes Wisner. Wisner down the far sideline. Wisner over midfield. Wisner stops 8 feet in front of the restraining line, raked up, bringing back. Ladish has it. Ladish for Pioneer. Trying to get away from pressure over to Gago. Gago over midfield. Gago comes down the near hash marks. Gago fires it over to McQueen. McQueen about 5 yards above the goal line extended, now even with the goal. Gago racing ahead. Gago trying to get right in front between the hash marks. He's walled off there. Steps back. Fires it over to Ladish. Ladish over to Ayers. Ball loose. Ayers trying to rake it up as that's grabbed. Coming the other direction is Thackeray. Thackeray for Northville. Over midfield. Thackeray into the offensive zone. Thackeray with the shot. That will go out of bounds. Closest to it, though, was Dietrich. So that will stay Northville ball. 5:34 left to go. Northville on a 4-goal run. They have the 2-goal lead as there is a flag. A penalty to Pioneer. As that is going to be, I believe, push. I believe that is Shikachi over there. Sometimes the 19 and the 18 are hard to see. Dietrich has it, even with the goal on the near wing, just outside the numbers. It's 5:34. Man-up situation for the Mustang as they flap that over. Dulac, top, over to Pearson. Pearson moves it over on the far wing, over to Jaime. Shot, back over Jaime, moves it over to Dulac. Dulac gets it back between the hash marks, over to Hinshaw. Hinshaw over to Jaime. Jaime, swim move coming in. Ball loose, trying to rake it up is Beer. Over on the far wing, that grabbed. Fired all the way down. Cow trying to keep it in bounds. That will roll out of bounds. That will be Northville ball. 5:05 left to go here in this, the fourth quarter. 9-7, Mustangs with the lead as they get it over to Burlingame. In front of his own goal, he fires that ahead. Now bringing it ahead is Jaime. Jaime over midfield, racing between the hash marks. Jaime into the offensive zone, floats it over. Dulac with a shot. Good save. Excellent job by Denson. Denson trying to fire it ahead, get the offense going. Porter gets it down. Over on that far wing is Cow. Cow ends up on the turf. Popped up, whistle. As Pioneer will be man up. At 4:36, Pioneer down by 2, 9-7. Northville with the lead. Still plenty of time left, but Northville with a 4-goal run, and Pioneer would really, really love to put a stop to that if they want to win their first game on home turf this season. Cal has it just above the goal line extended. And back over to McQueen in the midfield area. Over to Rosenberg on the near wing. And sent over, back over to Rosenberg. And trying to fire it on a bounce over to Cal. Cal racing is over, trying to keep it in bounds. Dives. Valiant attempt, but to no avail. That goes over to Northville. 4:16 left to go here in the fourth. Northville racing ahead with it. Is trying to get to it. McQueen trying to rake it up. Thackeray had it. Now racing ahead with it is Ranka into the offensive zone. That knocked away. A loose ball trying to rake it up on the near wing. That grab coming over. Here comes Yang. Yang has it popped out of his cross. Raked up. Coming over midfield. Now that fired over. McQueen has it just over the goal line extended. Trying to fire it to a cutting Friedman. That knocked away, and here comes Northville the other direction. Over midfield, Northville runs down the far sideline as that is Hinshaw with it. Shot there, goes wide out, closest to it, Dietrich, as that will stay Northville ball. 3:34 left to go. Northville on offense, Pioneer. Down by 2. As Alexander with the ball, just on the near wing, flips that over, trying to work his way between the hash marks. Hyame coming in, shot, and there's a score. Hyame puts it in, number 18. That at 3:21, and Pioneer is now in some dire straits to come back in this game. They're down by 3 with 3:21 left to go. That is the second goal in a row by Jaime. Jafar in to take the face off. Versus Wellman. Wellman trying to get to it. Wellman rakes it up, pops it up high in the air. That grab by Cal. Cal on the far sideline in the offensive zone. Pioneer waiting for substitutes to come in. 3:09 left to go. 10-7. Northville with the lead. And back into the midfield area. Now over to Rosenberg between the hash marks in the midfield area. On the near wing coming in, Dutton gets it over to McQueen. McQueen, even with the goal, trying to fire it out in front. That loose is Cal trying to get to it. Battle going as that is raked up. As again, excellent job by Burlingame. And all the way over to midfield. And Rosenberg has some issues as he went down. I hope it's a cramp. He's just grabbing that left leg and trying to pull it, but he went down like a shot. As something happened on that left leg. Shikachi trying to help him get it loosened up. That is an awful feeling as you're trying to make a comeback and all of a sudden you're on the turf not being able to help. Trainer comes out as everyone takes a knee. Hoping it's just a cramp, you never know, but it's easy in a cold day to not to get dehydrated, not realizing you're not, in that hot environment. You're not, but you're still running an awful lot. These players have been up and down this turf all game long, and Rosenberg hobbling off, but up under his own power. Fantastic sportsmanship by both crowds clapping, as he is trying his best to get off the field as quickly as possible. And we hope he's all right. That is a unpleasant feeling to get a, hopefully just a Charlie horse there. 2:36 left to go. As Northville has it in the 3-goal lead, as the clock is starting to become an issue for Pioneer. As Dulat has it on the numbers on the near wing. Dulat trying to make his way between the hash mark. Sidearm shot grabbed by Denzin. Denzin, great job to pluck that out of midair. He has played very well. Been giving a lot of credit to Burlingame, but need to give Denson some credit as well. Here comes Ayers. Ayers into the attack zone for Pioneer. Ayers on the near hash marks, flips that over, coming in, shot by Ladish. Friedman closest to it on the run out. Friedman will have it. Timeout call by Pioneer. Well, let's play a little push on, trying to get Pioneer fired up. Get you fired up, get everybody fired up.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Next game will happen here on Saturday for Pioneer, 11:30 versus Skyline. I believe we should be able to do that. We're going to try and do a baseball game that starts at 11 o'clock and the lacrosse game at 11:30. So we'll try and bring both those games to you all at arborbroadcasting.com. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. As Northville has had, since they have scored every goal in this second half, they have a 5-goal run going right now. Pioneer looking to try and break into whatever the Northville coaches said at halftime. It has worked. Cal has it underneath the goal line, extended into the far corner. He flips it over to McQueen, just behind the goal. Now back over to Cal. Cal trying to keep it from going beyond him, tipped it down, but a loose ball, trying to rake it up. Cal now has it. Flipping that back over. Pioneer. Coming back out to the top is Ladish. Ladish moves it over. Ayers with a shot and a score. Pioneer stops the goal run. I believe that would be 27, which would be so Leitch on the assist, Ayers on the goal. Pioneer's first goal of this half. So Pioneer breaks the goal run. Now they could use 2 more to get it tied up, as it is 10-8. Northville, Jafar gets the face-off, fires it ahead. Coming down on the far wing is Jaime. Jaime goes underneath the goal line, extended. So ball ran out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneer ball. By the way, no shot clock. If you watch college and professional lacrosse, shot clock there. There is no shot clock in high school lacrosse. Although Pioneer needs to get several shots off to try and get this game tied up. Ayers just inside of the restraining line on the near wing. Flips that back over to McQueen. McQueen sidesteps back and underneath the goal line, extended. McQueen coming from the near side, spinning, trying to come up the hash marks on the near wing. 1 minute, 4 seconds left. Pioneer down by 2. Leitch gets it over on the far wing to Dutton. Dutton over to Cal. Cal underneath the goal line, extended. Cal trying to get ahead. He gets bumped. That ball loose. Cal trying to rake it up high in the air. That grabbed. Here comes Northville. Northville looking to ice it as they have it over midfield. Move down. Collision. Players go down. Whistles blown. Pioneer also has a player down as 42 seconds left to go. As with high school sports, we do not put the camera on the injured players just for privacy's sake. We don't want them to be shown higher ranks. Of course, you do, but we want to give them that privacy of that moment. As that is Cal, who is up and he walks off the field. We are very happy for that. So it is going to be Northville ball up by 2, 42 seconds left to go. Pioneer looking for some kind of amazing comeback. Northville just looking to run this clock out and win the game. As the ball back, Dietrich has it. Back behind the goal. Dietrich and along the end line. Dietrich trying a swim move, trying to get around. Flips it out in front. That ball loose. Here comes Dutton. Dutton coming ahead. 23 seconds left. Dutton goes over midfield. Dutton trying to flip it ahead. That intercepted. Coming the other direction. Here comes Northville. 16 seconds left. Dulac gets it over onto the far wing. Jaime sends it back to Dietrich. 9 seconds left to go. And Northville can just ice it here. Is just trying to keep it away from Pioneer. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. And both of these teams, Northville has won. Both teams now 1-1 on the season, as Pioneer is won their first game, lost this game. Northville lost their first game, won the second game. Again, Pioneer will be back in action at 11:30 Saturday versus Skyline. Please come out. We'd love to see you out here if you can. We do expect to have it broadcast, so check out arborbroadcasting.com. Thank you to Northville, and hopefully they have a wonderful rest of the season. Thank you to you for cheering and supporting these athletes wherever you are at. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Take care and have a good night.